it's Amber from Amber Eats Books, and I'm here today to bring you a video on how I rate books. Now, I've been giving you guys ratings for a couple of months now and telling you, oh, I rated it this, I rated it that, but why do I rate it that? So I decided to just give you an explanation. I rate my books on a scale of 1 to 5, just like on Goodreads, because that's where I started learning how to rate books. However, I feel like sometimes when I watch similar videos to this one that people's 1 to 5 scale is different than my 1 to 5 scale. The reason why they rated it is different than the reason why I rated it. So I'm just gonna go through my numbers and tell you what each one is for. Now, I am a very emotional-based rater. I will rate a book much higher if it made me laugh or cry than I would a book that I have no emotional connection with. So that brings me to my number one. Number one is a book that I just did not like in some way, like just could not find any redeemable qualities. Either the writing style was something I couldn't stand, or the characters were characters I couldn't stand, or a combination of all of it was something I couldn't stand. So it was just something about it either really irked me or I just was offended. I don't know. It's just a feeling that I get. And like I said, I'm an emotional rater, so it all depends on my feeling. I will give you an example of a 1-star book. I personally rated, I don't think I rated it on Goodreads because I DNF'd it before the halfway mark, but I rated All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy a 1-star because I personally could not read it due to the writing style, the lack of punctuation, the run-on sentences. I just could not do it. It wasn't even something I could force myself through if need be. And I think about that because I do tend to DNF books a lot more often this year than I have ever DNF'd before. If I'm not feeling a book, I will DNF it, you know, within 50 to 60 to 100 pages, somewhere in that realm. If I cannot finish it though, I will ask myself, is this something that if I was being forced to read, could I at least finish it? And if it's a yes, then it definitely does not get a 1-star because for me, 1 star is the lowest of the low since you can't give a 0-star rating. So yes, All the Pretty Horses got a 1-star. Could not finish it, could not deal with it, did not like it, 1 star. A 2-star rating for me is a book that I did not like. I probably was not satisfied with it whatsoever, but I found something in it that I could at least connect with, whether that was a character or some of the writing, you know, some of the descriptions or whatever were beautiful enough that I thought, oh, this was at least something beautiful in a story that I did not like. So there's something redeemable about it, something that I could connect with. So that's a 2-star book. A 3-star book is a book that I found enjoyable, but maybe not memorable. So it's kind of like an average rating for me. I probably rate a lot of books 3 stars. Now, 3 stars can be either a positive or a negative as well, because sometimes I go into a book not expecting a whole lot, probably expecting to even dislike it, and I really end up liking it, but not enough to give it like a 4-star, so it gets a 3. Or I went into a book having high expectations, kind of like with Illuminae. I went into it with high expectations, and it was just okay for me. So again, a 3. It is my most probably used rating, but it is one that, like I said, I find them enjoyable. I really do like them. I like the story at the time. I just don't think it's something that a year from now I'm going to remember all that well. Sometimes I will reflect back on stories that I gave a 3, and if I did remember them and they do stick with me, I do bump up my ratings. That is something else. I will change my ratings if I feel the need to, or something even that I didn't like and I thought, maybe I should have given it lower than a 3. Sometimes I will go back and do that as well. So that is probably the one area where it's really fluid, but generally it is an average rating. Now my 4-star rating, now we're getting into books that I really adored. So these books are higher than a 3 because I really enjoyed them. I will remember them, and also they probably had some sort of plot or character that I just couldn't get enough of. I really liked it. I will say the most current 4-star ratings, like I said, that I gave were probably like Ready Player One, Between Shades of Grey. Some of my Stephen Kings have gotten 4 stars. Like I think Under the Dome is probably more of a 4-star read than a 5-star read for me. So it varies, but it's normally a book that I highly enjoyed and will remember, and just didn't have enough oomph to really get me to that 5. Now, a 5-star rated book is a book that I absolutely fell in love with. It is something where I was just head over heels in love with the story, the characters, and normally it made me either laugh out loud, which is something that is very, very hard to do, or it made me cry, which again isn't as hard to make me do, but still doesn't happen as often as I would say does with, you know, just enjoying a book. So I could just enjoy the book and really love it, but if it makes me laugh out loud or shed a tear or multiple tears, and I absolutely love the characters and the plot and the setting, then it all just culminates into a 5-star read. For me, a couple 5-star reads definitely would be like The Diviners by Liva Bray. That was a 5-star read this year. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, another 5-star. Trying to think of some more 5 stars. I'm thinking Little Bee by Chris Cleve. I might bump that up to a 5-star. I think I had it at a 4, but the more I reflect on it, the more I'm actually really loving it. So that might get a bump up. Now, the only other thing about my ratings, I will say I do use 1/4 star, 1/2 star, 3/4 stars. So if it falls anywhere in between a range, so say I thought the book was slightly above average, but I didn't absolutely adore it, I didn't fall in real like with it, then it gets anywhere between that 3 and 4 range. So I will rate it at 3.25, at 3.5, at 3.75. It all depends on where it falls in that range. So I know I'm a confusing person. My ratings are a little confusing, but hopefully you guys understand and you guys get it, and it makes more sense now when you listen to what I gave a book. It just will maybe show you where our ratings kind of are similar and where they are different, and then you can kind of take my ratings and say, oh, this book was a 4-star rating to her. To me, that might be a 3-star rating, but we'll see, because I am not a literary rater. I don't have any education, you know, that has taught me how to really look at a piece of work and dissect it, you know, by the writing style and the characters and this and that. I don't go into it analytically. I'm just not someone that's going to analyze the book for, you know, its writing merits. I'm going to go into the book and I'm going to ask it, did it make me feel? Did it give me something to remember? Is it something that I would want other people to read, something that I want everyone to read? So I'm so much more an emotional reader, and I read for entertainment. I don't read to study these, you know, works of literature. I'm not studying them. I am just reading them merely for my pure enjoyment. So did it take me away? That's another question. Did it take me away? Did it take me out of my head, out of my problems, out of my life for even a short period of time? And if it did, it gets bumped up on that rating scale. So hopefully you guys understand my ratings a little better. I know I'm long-winded in this video. I don't know why. I just feel like it's so hard to articulate why I rate books the way I do, but hopefully you guys understand a little bit better. As always, I hope you guys have a great week and happy reading.